Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
Hey you guys, it's Naimah and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay litty over here. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how are you guys doing on this very lovely day? As you guys can tell by the title of this video, your girl is back with another story time, and I'm going to be telling you guys sorry, my hair got stuck in my lip gloss. I'm going to be telling you guys some more ridiculous customer stories from my job, okay? And this one is gonna be based around these bad kids that these people need to learn how to control, okay? If you haven't seen the first part, I will link it in the description box down below and up there for your convenience. It's not based about kids, but it is on the ridiculous customers that I have encountered at my job. If you guys enjoy my story times, make sure you hit that subscribe button once again, okay? Because your girl is on the road to 800 subscribers by the end of this year. I have plenty of story times on my channel and lots of playlists. I will leave them all in the description box below as well. So now I'm done rambling. Let's just go ahead and get into the story. So number one, this was actually like a few years ago. I feel like I was still fairly new at this job. And mind you guys, I do work in, I guess, luxury retail, just a little higher end retail store. So this is my first experience with bad kids in this store, and I was just a little confused. This lady comes in and she has like two little boys with her. I think they were twins. They were really cute. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the little boys. Oh my gosh, yay, whatever, right? And the mom is just very like, she's giving, she doesn't care. She's just fed up. Like she was giving, she needed a vacation, high key. Like she just had been doing a lot and she just came in the store to just decompress, okay? So she's in there and she's like, oh yeah, I really like this. And she's just like shopping around and everything. And me and she was my manager at the time. I'm going to call her Joanna. Yeah. Joanna and I were in the store and she's helping the lady, and the lady's like, oh, I want to try this one. I want to try this one. And so she's getting the fitting room and stuff set up. And I'm just sitting here looking at these kids run around the store. When I say run around, I wish I was exaggerating, but they were actually like running around the store. So I'm just like, because, you know, it's that weird situation where it's like you can't say something to somebody's kid because you don't know how they'll react to you talking to their kid. But at the same time, then if you try to come to them about it, they're going to get offended and be like, well, what are you talking about? Like, they can do what they want, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's a weird situation to be in. I don't know if anybody's ever been in that situation, but if you have, you know, it's weird when somebody's kid's being bad and you really want to say something, but it's honestly not your place. And then you want to talk to the parent, but that, once again, it's still not really your place. You're just sitting here watching these kids run around, and the mom is just, when I say she doesn't care, y'all, I mean she is just acting like nothing is happening. It was actually very weird to me. I was just sitting there like, there are actually people out here that just be letting them kids do whatever. Could never be me. And it would never be my mother, because no, not an option. She's still sitting here like getting things for the fitting room or whatever. And I think like she had finally went in the fitting room, or like she was like about to go in the fitting room, and her kids were in our window, like just having a ball in the window, right? And finally, Joanna, who I was working with, she was like, you know what? I'm going to tell them to get out the window because they're going to get hurt. Like, it's not safe. And mind you, Joanna, she was really good with kids. She really liked kids. That was just her nature. So she just goes up to the little boy and she's like, hey, like, you know, let's get out of the window. Let's not play in the window. Because honestly, she was right. Like, the window is not, in any retail store, it's not a safe place for kids to be at. Like, I know kids like to touch and stuff and like to climb up there because it's like a little thing and you could climb and you could touch. But honestly, the window is like probably actually very dangerous, just because sometimes, especially depending on the store, the fixtures and stuff that's up there, you gotta watch out for that. This is just one if anybody with kids. Don't let your kid be playing in the windows, okay? So Joanna goes up to the little boy and she's like, hey, like, do you guys want to like get out of the window and let's go play like somewhere else that's not so dangerous, right? Y'all, when I tell you, the little kid's response is what had me appalled. The little boy looked at Joanna and said, no. I was like, and when I say he said it loud, like loud, it echoed through the store. Okay, that was a little bit of an exaggeration, but the store is not really that big, but you could definitely hear it all throughout the store. And I was just like, and I guess the mom heard and she was like, oh, don't, like, get out the window, blah, blah, blah. Like, y'all, Joanna looked at the little boy and she was like, get out the window right now. And I was just like, ooh. Did they get out the window? No, they didn't. They still continued to terrorize the store, and it was a hot mess. The mom sat there and let her little boys my eye. Sorry, I got hair in my eye. Anyways, the mom sat there and let these little boys terrorize the store. Honestly, it happened literally a few years ago, and I just remember it was just one of the distinctive experiences of working at this place. And I just thought in my head, I was like, since it's luxury retail, like, people are gonna have a little bit more respect. Like, they're gonna try to keep their kids in check, because it's like stuff in here is, you know, a little on the pricier side, and you don't want your kids messing it up because you don't want to have to pay for it. But clearly that was not the case. I was very surprised, and I was just like, wow, there are really, like, some parents out here that just clearly don't care. Moving on to story numero dos. So this was a little bit more recent. It was probably like last year sometime. This lady came in and she had her son with her, and at first, there's a little seating area across from our store. So, like, I saw, like, her husband sit down with her daughter. And the mom came in with the son, and she looked at him, and she was like, okay, like, don't touch anything while we're in the store, right? Mind you, now, guys, sometimes you can just tell the type of parent and tell when somebody's tired. Like, you can just tell. This lady seemed like she told her son that, but there was no bass in her voice. Like, there was no actual, like, if you actually do mess up something in the store, you're gonna be in trouble when we get home. Nothing like that. It was just like, oh, just don't touch anything in the store. Like, it was just very lighthearted, very, like, her son's not gonna take her seriously, and her son did not take her seriously. So this little boy is, like, running, once again, throughout the store, and he's like touching all up on the jewelry. And one of my coworkers comes up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, Naimah, like, he's like really gonna mess up like some stuff in the store. I was like, yeah, I'm looking at that. And like, he's like going through like fixture racks of like clothes like this. And y'all, look, okay, the store is old, okay? It is an old store, and I have seen firsthand fixtures fall. Like, some of the fixtures fall when we're trying to, like, rearrange things. So I just don't trust a lot of the fixtures in the store. And all I can think about in my head is, like, I really hope that this little boy doesn't get hurt. Like, the lady is literally just sitting there, like, looking at the jewelry or whatever, just looking at it, not paying attention to him. The little boy was honestly stressing me out. And I don't... Look, after the first story, I know I was still a beginner, but now I'm a seasoned vet. But still, I don't like getting involved with people's kids because, like I said, it's a difficult situation to be in. And I have heard stories of it going terribly wrong for a lot of people. So I just mind my business. But I am like side-eyeing the kid like, okay, like if things get too out of control, I'll say something. But honestly, all I can do, unfortunately, as a manager is just stand here and just watch your kid run through the store. So the kid's like running through like the closing fixtures or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to do it as a kid too. So like, I get it, it's fun at the time. But as an adult, you know, like you can't be doing that, especially not in a luxury retail store. You know what I'm saying? And the mom's like, oh, like stop doing that or whatever. Like, and he's just not listening to her. He's not taking her seriously at all, right? The dad comes in, he's like really tall, and he looks at the little boy. And I guess he had heard when the mom was like, oh, like, she said, like, behave when you came in the store, and you're not. So he snatches the little boy up. When I say snatches him up, y'all, I literally mean snatches him. Like, he grabbed the little boy by his arm, and the way he grabbed him, like, he kind of swung a little bit, and he almost hit the corner of the jewelry counter, which, mind you, is glass. I was stressed. Y'all, I was looking at this instance like, and I know it's probably all over my face, and I felt so bad, but he was just fed up. He snatched the little boy up. He was like, you need to learn how to listen. That's what he said. And then he like dragged the little boy out of the store, and the little boy was just like crying. And the mom was just sitting there feeling all awkward and stuff. And she's like, oh, how much is this? Like, she's just acting like nothing happened. And we're just all like, ma'am, we're not going to act like your husband didn't just walk in here and literally snatch up your kid, and your kid head almost hit the corner of the jewelry counter. All of us was kind of stressed because, like, when I tell y'all he snatched up at y'all, I'm going to use my water bottle. Okay. This the kid, right? This is the kid on the ground, right? This is the dad. You going to learn how to listen. Like, that's literally what happened. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, at least he was willing to discipline the child, I guess, but it was a little much. It was a little much. Sure, like the guy just looked like he was really over it. Like, I hope they're okay, because the mom was just she just didn't care that her son was running around the store, and the dad was like, you're embarrassing me, you're embarrassing your mother, and we need to get it together. Like, that's what he was giving. They were on 2 different pages. So I hope it works out. But yeah, that one actually kind of scared me. But that was probably one of the like really few instances at the time that I've been working here that somebody has actually like tried to get their kid under control in our store. Like when they were being like really bad. Because usually, like I said, the parents just do. Story number 3. Y'all, this one... This one was wild. This was the only time I've actually had to step in when somebody's kid was being bad. But I'm going to explain to y'all why I had to step in. So it's me and 2 of my other coworkers, right? And we're going to call one of them Michelle. And we'll call the other one, I don't know, Candy. So me and Candy are like standing like kind of further back in the store. And then Michelle's kind of like towards the front. This little girl, very adorable little girl, probably like yay high. Like she was really small. She probably was like 3 or 4 years old. Like super young, just literally like comes running into the store. No parent in sight at all. And I'm just looking like, whose kid is this? And so the little girl is like walking around the store. She's picking up things. She's like looking at things and everything. And Michelle's in the front. And Michelle's like, oh my gosh, hi. Like, where's your mom? And blah, blah, blah. And so the little girl points. And the mom was actually sitting like across from the store, because I told y'all there's some seats over there. And I was like, okay, cool. Like the mom is sitting across. Maybe the mom is planning to come in and like, you know, get her child. Y'all, this little girl played in the windows and was tugging on the dresses. At some point, she sat down, took off her shoes, and started walking around in the store and some of the mannequin shoes that we had on. And Michelle was kind of keeping an eye on her until she started like taking off her shoes and like walking in the store and like picking up things and doing like different things and everything. And I think it got to the point, because I was sitting there, I was like, should we like go get her mom and like tell her mom like she needs to come get her kid out of the store? And like Michelle and Candy was like, oh no, like it's fine, like, you know, she's not doing anything harmful. I was like, but she can get hurt, and if she gets hurt while she's in here with no parent, somehow, some way, it'll be our fault if we get a lawsuit. So I just didn't really feel comfortable with the whole situation. I'm like, why is your kid running around in the store? Michelle's sitting there pretty much like babysitting this kid, and I don't really understand why she's babysitting this kid. I mean, she's just a really great person, I guess, but I'm just like, girl, like, you're doing a lot for somebody that you don't have to. So at some point, the little girl starts running through the closing fixtures and stuff, and I think something fell or something happened. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just know it was my last straw. I was like, okay, this is not gonna slide in the store anymore, because Candy was acting like she was too scared to go talk to the lady and tell her to come get her kid, and Michelle was just too focused on the kid to like even think about going to the parent. I'm just like, bro, this is not your kid. You do not have to take care of this kid. The lady who's sitting out there doing nothing but talking to her friend needs to come get her kid out of our store. Like, why is she in here? Like, almost positive that something had fell or something had happened that like where the little girl could have got hurt. And that's where I was just like, okay, or like something almost broke. And I was just like, okay, like this is, we're done with this. So I literally walked out to the little kid's mom, and I was like, ma'am, is that your daughter in there? And she was like, oh yes, is she still doing okay? Like, is everything all right? I was like, can you come get her out of our store? And she was like, oh yes, yeah, sure. Ma'am, this is not a daycare. Why would you? Can somebody please explain to me? Okay, please explain to me. Why would you let your kid just roam around in a store? Like, just because you're sitting outside doesn't mean that nothing could happen. Not only could she have gotten hurt, but what if like a crowd of people came in and the next thing you know, you can't find your daughter? Y'all, I don't get it. Like, I literally don't get it. And then when the mom came in to get the little girl, of course the little girl starts throwing a temper tantrum because she didn't want to take off the shoes. She didn't want to leave. And the mom is just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, we have to go, honey, blah, blah, blah. The mom didn't even shop. She didn't even buy anything. Y'all, she was not even there to shop. It was like literally like she dropped her kid off, was like, oh, I'm going to let my kid go run around in that store, and I'm going to talk to my friend out here. It's fine. They can watch her. Like, that's what it was giving. Ma'am, if you need a babysitter, you need to go find one. But this is not that. This is not that at all. Because that's what it was giving. It was giving that she needed a babysitter and she just wanted to talk to her friend and hang out with her friend. She couldn't find a babysitter, so she brought her daughter with her. Her daughter was getting on her nerves and she let her daughter just run into our store and everything. And I'm just like, ma'am, I was really, truly like appalled. And I'm sure she could see it all on my face that I was like, if you don't come get your daughter, she's gonna break something in our store and you're gonna have to pay for it. Like, I literally gave her that look. Like, that was the look that I gave her, because she looked at me like, oh shoot, like, is something wrong? Ma'am, come get your kid. Come get your daughter. Like I said, that was the only time I ever got involved, because it needed to happen. Because why are you not in the store with your children? Okay. And look, let me tell y'all something. Before we go into the last story time, because the last story time is a little different from all of these, but it still has to do with kids. Keep your kids under control, y'all. I don't understand. I don't know if it's a generation thing or what, but when I was younger, I was not allowed to act a fool in the store. I was not, and my mom kept me in check. And if I did act a fool in the store, she did a little pinch on the arm with the, if you don't get your act together right now, through the teeth. Okay, she did that. Okay, and it scared me and it hurt. And of course, it made me cry loudly because pinching hurts. But was I gonna act right in the store? Absolutely. This last story is actually a bit different, okay? Because this kid was probably about like 10, 11, 12, okay? Probably in that range. So this lady comes in. I feel like I need to give these two names because it was just a situation that unfolded in front of me and my coworkers, and all we did was just watch. So I'm gonna call this lady, book bag, okay, and we'll call her daughter Pencil. This lady comes in, book bag, she comes in and she's like looking around, she's like looking at bags and everything, and it's like me and two other coworkers, and we're all just sitting there. We're like, oh, if you need help, like, just let us know. She finds this item, she's like, hey, how much is this? Like, I think my daughter would really like it and everything. We're just watching, like, me and my coworkers were just like, okay. Finally, she shows her, like, she's like, oh, this is the one I really picked out for you, you know, because I know you're using my bag right now. Like, you know, I figured maybe you want this one. Y'all, technically, this is a designer bag, okay? The bag that she was looking at for her daughter, I'm going to be honest, was probably like $300. That's very generous, right? Very generous for someone who is 10, 11, 12, in that range, if that, okay? Because she could have just been tall. I don't know. The little girl looks, and her mom was like, well, do you like it? And she's like, no, I don't. Y'all, when I tell you, she was actually that loud. Like, loud to the point where all me and my coworkers kind of froze. And, like, we looked over, and the little girl kind of, like, she kind of smiled a little bit afterwards, like, girl, no, we're not on your side here. Like, first of all, that was rude as hell, okay? Second of all, why are you talking to your mom like that? Third of all, she gave you one of her designer bags, and now she's trying to buy you another designer bag. And this is how you talk to her? Y'all, when I tell you book bag looked embarrassed, I was like, there is no way that this lady's daughter just publicly shamed her like that, pretty much. Like, if she looked very embarrassed, she was like, okay, like, you know, it's fine. I think it's really cute, though. I still think that you should get it, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I don't want it. Like, she's just being very loud with her opinion. Like, unnecessarily loud, as if she's trying to get validation and want us to, like, jump in and be like, oh, yeah, it is ugly and blah, blah, blah. Like, she wants us to, like, gang up on her mom with her. I'm just like, but no, that's not how this is gonna go. If anything, I'd be jumping in on the mom's side. Like, girl, you better be lucky I'm even trying to get you a $300 bag in the first place, because that is the last thing that you deserve. The little girl was unbelievable, but the husband, he was even worse, okay? The lady, book bag, is still trying to push getting this bag for her daughter. She's like, I think it'd be a really great bag, and I'm guessing the husband had the money, which is usually the situations that I see in the store that I work in. The husband comes in, and she shows him, and he's like, no. And he was like kind of rude to her too. And we were just like, what is is going on here? Like, what is really happening? Because it was giving a dynamic of this woman is getting bullied at home. Like, honestly, when she left the store, all me and my coworkers, all we could do was sit there and talk about how rude the daughter was, and then we just hoped that she got out of that situation and she found happiness somewhere else, because it honestly did not seem like her husband cared about her, and it didn't seem like her daughter even liked her. Like, it was very weird. It was very uncomfortable. And honestly, y'all, the things that you see in public is just crazy. But yeah, those are some ridiculous customer stories featuring their kids that I have encountered at my job. I hope that last lady is really doing okay. I really do. And I hope all the other three got their kids under control, okay? Because, like, come on, man. I know it's okay to be tired sometimes, but let's reel it in. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any ridiculous customer stories, or any ridiculous customer stories featuring their kids that you just, something happened and you just were so like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they let their kid do this. I can't believe their kid did this. Whatever the case may be, I want to know. I want to read it. Let's discuss. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more ridiculous customer story times, because your girl has plenty of them. And like I said before, if you like story times, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I have plenty of them on my channel. I will leave the playlist in the description box down below for your convenience. And yeah, with all that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good time.